What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of 2 for 2, your sports podcast for the culture, by the voice of the culture. I'm your host, Quis, and I'm here as always with my brother Nell. We're back with another episode of 2 for 2 for you guys today. Sit back, enjoy it. Season 3, episode 65. Nell, my brother, how you feeling?
Doing great, man. I'm here on election day. I went out and voted. Okay, that's fancy. Okay, that's
perfect.
that's crazy. But
that
yeah,
was
man.
totally staged. Yes, sir.
Yeah, went out, voted today, so
Sir.
it's a good day. Good day. We'll know who the president is, hopefully by the time this comes out. But
yeah,
on today's election day, I'm doing pretty well.
That's good. Glad to
Paul
hear.
George is back.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how you feeling about that?
Hey, it's a little rusty his first game, but it's good to see him out there.
All right.
We're hoops on the wing in Philadelphia.
Are you hopeful?
Hopeful in terms of
like the fit, how the team's gonna go.
Oh yeah. Once we get 21 back on the court after he serves his 3-game suspension, we'll be fine.
That hurts, huh?
Hopefully
it's 3
still
games
out
on
of shape.
top of.
That's what I'm saying. Like the Sixers should just come out and say, "Hey, he's ready to play right now. So let's serve this 3-game suspension, even if he's not."
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Smart way to go about it.
Yeah, or at least like
it's
when
just for like
close.
the next 3 scheduled games or the next 3 games that like the team comes out and says that he can play. But if that was the case, like if being out for injury doesn't count towards his suspension, I would activate him right now.
I think it would be smart. I hope he sits out for some more time. Let my boys kind of figure it out before we need to see that. But go Sixers, right? Right.
Trust the process.
Paul George waving off Maxey in game 1 on his birthday when he got 30. That's what I'm talking about when I say, like, see how this thing goes. It's stuff like that.
He saw Grayson Allen, so he saw food, and I can't really blame him for thinking that.
I mean, it was a good shot, but then you saw he said,
"I live with the shot."
Did you see the tweet?
I did not see it. I did not see it.
When he said he thought y'all were down 1. He said he thought y'all was down 1. That's why he didn't go for the 3.
Strange awareness, but like I'm living with the shot anyway. So we're good.
You see my boy Big Perk?
I did not.
The numbers look good. He averaging about 20, 11, 22, 11, 3 assists.
That's it.
He's shooting like 60% from 3. 54% from the field, 91% from the free throw line. This is a center.
And he only getting me 22?
Unlike your team, we have a lot of players on it. Mikal Bridges is averaging his 17 to 18. Brunson's still averaging his 26. OG's having a hell of a year right now.
Okay.
We still figuring it out, though. We've only played 5 games together. You've been watching.
Best of luck.
I have not. I hope y'all see how he's trying to pretend that he don't watch.
Only game I've watched is a game they lost by 30 to Boston.
The hate game. You see, you're a hate.
It wasn't hate. It was opening night.
Okay. They've been on national television since.
Against who?
Cavs. Pacers.
Didn't watch it.
We blew the Pacers out. The game after.
So there was still no point in me watching.
I'm sure you texted me that day.
No.
Because I know I texted you.
Yeah, you did it.
It's fine.
That's when I found out Halliburton had 0 points. I didn't know.
So he is what he is.
I was actually out Friday night that week at a high school game. Yeah. So that's why I couldn't watch those Knicks. I forgot what the schools were.
Sorry. Well, we'll come on TV again soon. So trust me, I hate watch all 6. I want to know what y'all are doing. Yeah. I'm just going to put it out.
Is it hate watch or you just...
I don't enjoy it.
Secretly a fan?
I look at it. I see the score.
Jealous?
I kind of look away for a bit. No, I just want to keep up. I watch a lot of basketball. I mean, always.
I do too.
I still got the NBA League Pass from the Jason Tatum glitch. So I
wish I got in on that.
Hey,
I'm paying for it.
No, sir.
That multi-view is elite.
I could have shared you the account, bro. Dang.
Well, I was already
It
in
is in
it.
January. It is in January. I might need to share your
Right.
account.
We can make it happen.
But hey, man, that's basketball. We haven't talked about week 9. Now, neither of us care to talk about week 9 because we saw L's for both of our teams. I will
I
say
didn't
my
see a
team
thing.
fought.
I didn't see. I don't say we. Don't include we in that. I didn't see anything.
Okay. You didn't watch?
No. I live in
You don't know
Philadelphia,
Sunday.
brother. That game is not on national television.
No, you've never watched an out-of-market game before?
Yeah, when I cared to watch it.
Okay. I get it. You won't put yourself through it. I understand. It's okay.
I
But for week 9,
I actually went to the gym. That's what I do.
better decisions
That's
than
what
what
I do
did.
at my 1 o'clock.
I watched.
Yeah, I play Call of Duty. That's a good way to spend your Sunday. Call of Duty and pizza. Yeah.
Did you cover up the... Oh, I thought you covered the Cowboys thing. I mean, shit.
Nah, that's cool. Like
You gonna keep that up there?
It's still my team. Like, I ain't afraid to say it. They just suck right now. It's all good.
I got it.
It's all good.
Hey, man.
We just counting down the days for certain someone to kick the bucket.
Who?
They know who.
Oh, okay. Well, for week 9,
What's understood don't need to be explained.
I understand. Right. So I understand. We're gonna try something new for week 9 now. I'm gonna say a team, a person, player, coach, whatever. I just want you to give me the first word that comes to mind when you hear about it.
It'd be crazy if I don't know the coach or the player.
It's nobody too different. Trust me. All right, first word we got for you. Jets.
Wait, hold on. What am I doing here? One word?
I was gonna say give me your first word, but you can elaborate on why you say that word. But I want to know.
Damn, this is hard. Just one word. I need like at least 2, 3. I'm gonna go with confusing. The Jets confuse me. It's they come out and they have a performance like that against the Texans, which I mean, it was still okay. Team still hasn't scored more than what else? I think 24 maybe.
I just looked at it.
27. That might even be
Jets,
too much credit.
They have not scored over 25. Oh,
yeah,
24.
24 points.
Yep.
So still, it's confusing to me that offense with Devontae Adams and Myles Garrett still can't, even though they got the win. It's just something about that offense still just not lighting a fire under me. So it's going to be tough for them to get to the postseason and kind of dig their way out of that hole when their offense is struggling as much as it is. I mean, we did see some spectacular plays from Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams got in the end zone. So maybe they find some chemistry there going forward, but they gotta start putting some more points on the board, man.
Yeah, it's underwhelming. But it feels like they're one of those teams that those spectacular plays, that you mentioned, those are the things that'll save, right? Like they're kind of pedestrian, and then 2 or 3 wild plays, and it's like, well, they got 20 points. A-Rod's managing the clock now, and they keep it in the game. I don't know if I think that they can really do much with that. I worry about it. I think looking at their schedule coming forward, they got Cardinals, a team that's hot. They got a bye week. Or no, not a bye week. It's this week. Yep, they play the Cardinals, Colts, Seahawks. I mean, they can, those are 3 winnable games. So you look at them, and then they're looking at what, 6 and 6 at that point.
They've had a lot of winnable games.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan. I'm not like a believer. I like the word you use, confusing. I'm confused, but I think that's why I'm worried that those wild plays will keep them relevant, especially the schedule not looking too rough for them, brother.
That's very true, but like I said, they same team that lost to the Broncos and Patriots at home.
Okay.
Can't count any team out.
I got another word for you. Here you go. Lamar Jackson.
Dare I say MVP again?
I think it's time. I think
Action
it's time.
Jackson.
The
3
Ravens are
times.
scary, bro. The Ravens have. I think they've reached that point for me, bro. Like I'm like, they might be like that.
Yeah, if they take this run game into the postseason, yeah.
And they're getting Keaton Mitchell back soon.
That's a
another
scary
guy to
team.
put back there.
Like the Chiefs are definitely it starts and ends with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, but Ravens, they're definitely gonna have something to say about it.
I mean, they put up 41 on the Broncos, right? The Broncos defense was ranked what in the NFL prior to that game? It was one of the better defenses, and they made them look like food. Granted, the Broncos aren't that great, but still, Sean Payton's a guy that
They
hate him.
looked a lot better this year.
But that
5-3
defense
going into the game.
And this is professional football. Like you're not getting 30 balls every week. Even if you know your head and shoulders getting like, you know what I'm saying, you're the lesser team. They had Deontay Johnson. He's gonna add on to that team as they go.
Zay Flowers had a great game.
He's legit. Ravens are legit. Okay, here we go.
I like him.
Here we go. Jameis Winston.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was your first word, man.
I guess so.
Up and down week, man. Like Jameis goes from Jameis beats the Ravens that we're talking about.
Classic. I mean, if I had to think of a word, just vintage. Nah, we can go vintage. That'll be my word. That was vintage Jameis right there. He can wow you with a game like he had the week prior against the Ravens and come away with a big win, and then he can have a stinker. It's the Jameis Winston experience.
I saw Jameis is second in the league this season in most drop interceptions. He has 5. He's played 2 games.
That's crazy.
He's second.
Some things never change.
Man, I thought I was gonna pull the Jameis jersey out. If they would have pulled it out last week, the Jameis Bucks jersey is with. It would have been on this.
Every time we have these discussions about Jameis Winston, I'm like, I can't help but to think about.
No, bro, stop. I didn't say anything. Please let it go. Let it go.
No one ever lets the stuff that I say go. So like, I just feel like
I've already told them this story before.
I just feel like I have to keep bringing it up because that was really crazy that I had to like argue you down that like Jameis Winston and Josh Allen did not deserve to be in the same conversation. Like, I just think that's crazy. And that's just something that we should never, as a nation, we should just never let that down. We should just never let you forget that. That's just one of them takes that just stay in your career forever.
It was an emotional
because you were standing on that for multiple weeks.
It was an emotional conversation.
This wasn't just like a 1 week troll session from you. This was multiple weeks, maybe even months of you calling that man a black Jameis Winston.
I just said he had to prove himself because that's what he was doing. He turned the ball over, lose the game.
You said that's what he is. You said that's what he is.
Next word here. All right, you done? Thank you.
I'm finished.
The Saints.
Dumpster.
Okay. I am so blessed. I'm grateful.
They broke like a streak, one of them streaks. They had like 150 yards rushing. They outgained the Panthers by 150 yards. I think forced a couple turnovers, and they were like the first team to lose under those circumstances. Nasty. Yeah. You got Michael Thomas tweeting about the team.
I love it. I love it.
Chris Olave going to the hospital. Derek Carr looks awful. We are far, far, far.
Yeah.
Far far, far away from that week 2 blowout win they had in Dallas. That's honestly, think about it now. It's kind of crazy. You let the Saints of all teams come into Dallas and win by like 40. It's wild.
People was trying to force us to put them in our top 5. Force us to put them number 1.
And I had them in there.
Walt talking about why they not number 1. I said, how? Why?
That's that early season stuff, man.
You know, they say, go Saints.
Until they the Aints.
Commanders.
Electrifying.
Oh. From a Cowboys fan.
Yeah. I can't hate. I love what I've seen from the Commanders lately. Should be real fun next week when they play the Eagles in a huge division game. But yeah, just that team and Jaden Daniels, they just been off to an electrifying start. Like nobody could have saw 7-2 from them being the division this late in the season. So yeah, we'll go with electrifying.
I cannot go without saying that on the preview, y'all asked me for a sleeper team. There you want. It was the Commanders.
Good team.
Here we are today. I was right. I was on it, man. I said, if all those guys can play well together, and Jaden Daniels, if he's that guy, if he's the type of quarterback that can elevate your team from day one, all it takes in this league is to have an above-average quarterback. And a lot of shit changes. I don't even say that word. My bad.
They got a lot better at the deadline.
And it happened. And they did. And I'm also grateful. Thank God. Get him out of there. Thank you, Jesus. Mike Evans is free. All right. D-Hop. Somebody said he was washed.
This is going to be like 3, but we just going to mash it up as one. Hot tub time machine. Someone did say he was washed.
He did to my boys. Somebody did.
Someone did say he was washed. And if someone else had said that, they would have been throwing it in my face. But that's neither here nor there. I mean, we knew D-Hop, you know. I mean, I thought D-Hop still had a little bit left in the tank. We'll see how far it goes for the rest of the way. But, I mean, when you're playing with Patrick Mahomes, you know you're going to get, good footballs thrown at you, elite play, good accuracy. He didn't have that the last couple of years. Kyler Murray was hurt, I think, his last year in Arizona. Then he goes to Tennessee, and we know about the level of quarterback play that's been there this season. So, to go to Kansas City, really not another number 1 on that roster either. So, I mean, he's going to come in, he's going to get his fair share of looks, and he played pretty well. So I think it's going to be a good fit, and I think he's certainly going to help them out the rest of the way.
Haiti had to do it to us, man. I always say, if you need a chance to, get your team going, have a resurgence, had your resume.
Guys, stop it. Stop this.
I mean, look what Travis Kelce did.
Look at Travis. Like y'all 3 and 5.
No, look. Look at Travis Kelce. 14 catches, 100 yards. He ain't did nothing all season. But now, guess what? He's 1,000% going to be a Pro Bowler because we just gift wrapped it in. 14 catches and 100 yards. D-Hop comes in. What do you get? 2 touchdowns? 3 touchdowns? I don't even remember. I think it was 2. A crazy catch of the year candidate.
That boy still got it.
And we gave them free practice, free chemistry in game. We put my guy Josh Hayes out there on him, and it's just option route, do what you want. Neither here nor there. D-Hop, he's back. That's all we can say. Last name for you, Jerry Jones.
I got too many words in my head. One of them I can't say because I'll get canceled. The other one I can't say because I'll probably get canceled. So I got to pick a nicer version of this word. It's so hard to describe Jerry in one word, but I'll just go with putrid. Like he's just as a owner, He's fantastic. I mean, his team's one of the wealthiest in all of sports, constantly in the media highlights and on national TV and, the brand and blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to being a general manager of a football team and uh, coming up with a roster to compete for a championship, putrid. His all-in comments, putrid. His trade deadline moves, putrid.
Do you want to talk about that?
Not really. Honestly, I'm tired of talking about the Cowboys. There is nothing to talk about. No one is talking about the Panthers. We're not talking about
You just said it, man. The brand.
the Raiders. Like,
They don't even make.
let bad teams be where bad teams should be, and that's out of the spotlight.
Unfortunately, it don't work like that.
It should.
But I understand. I like vocabulary.
Yeah, he's about to get hit with the hard R.
I know. I'm glad that you censored yourself. That's why I had to give you one.
Not that R. Just for people that don't know what R I'm talking about.
Let's do our power rankings, brother. Who's your top five this week? A lot of winners stayed winners.
Yeah, not much change here. Not much change here. Got the Lions won. Big time win going at Lambeau. Nasty weather conditions and pretty much that game wasn't close. Once they took the lead. 2, well, keeping the Chiefs there, still undefeated. Some people might call me crazy for having them 2, seeing as they haven't lost yet, but through the injuries and the inconsistencies on offense, they still found a way to continue to win. Another big win against the Bucs. So keep them at 2. 3, I'm gonna go Ravens. Talked about earlier. Lamar looks electric. Derrick Henry looks electric. The best quarterback running back duo in the league this year by far. So give them a ton of credit. They're rolling. I got them at 3. We'll go Bills at 4. They've turned it up. Even without Amari Cooper this last game, they still found a way to win, and a big time win against a division opponent. Pretty much got that division wrapped up. I think someone on here predicted them to win the division, and my Bills though, as they like to say. So my Bills at 4.
I don't even think anybody said that wouldn't happen.
You did. You tried to challenge. You challenged me on it.
Well, who did I say would win?
I don't know.
All right, go ahead.
And then at 5, I'm gonna throw the Eagles in there.
Damn. You gotta stop copying my list.
Maybe you should be original. Stop reading my notes. But yeah,
I didn't see it.
Since they come off the bye week and got healthy with AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, Saquon's been the second best running back in the league. Had an insane highlight play. I probably watched that about 20 times already. The backwards hurdle. Like, I don't even know how you even think to do something like that. But yeah, so he's been pretty much the MVP in my opinion of that team so far this year. But obviously they're a much different team, and those receivers and AJ Brown and Devontae Smith are crazy. Smith had another spectacular catch. So a lot of highlights being made in Philly right there. So got them number 5.
Yeah, I hate to say it, man. That's a good list.
Thank you.
I wanted to put the Commanders at 5. I wanted to come on here and I wanted to declare it. I wanted the Philly fans to be upset, but I worked on myself. I'm changing, and I don't do things just because. Now, am I really, really excited to see these two teams play? Absolutely. Do I think the Commanders have a good chance to win? Absolutely. But I'll leave it there. Your Bills? They're all right. I feel like I haven't really enjoyed a Bills game yet, but it's all right. They're winning. They do what they got to do.
I thought the game was pretty good.
I'm sure. You didn't. You watched that game and not the Cowboys game. Was that game on TV?
It was somewhere.
I'll leave it there. Not hitting Terry.
Thanks. Because there's no reason to.
No, not at all. Not at all. You're make your own decisions.
Thanks. I
So
wanted to
week
watch
10.
a close football game. That's all.
Was it? It was close. Shout out to my boy Devin H. Man. He back. Let me say, I can't believe the Miami Dolphins can't throw the ball to Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill properly. I love Devin A. Chain as well. But dear God, please, we have wide receivers on your team.
They usually do a good job at Buffalo. Usually does a pretty good job against Tyreek Hill, especially in Buffalo.
I don't know about that.
I don't think he's ever had a 100-yard game against the Bills in a Dolphins uniform so far.
Sorry. They need to get back. Here we go. Week 10.
They got the formula.
What, man? The Bills, whatever. We're going to see. Got DeMar Hamlin still out there on the field, man. Crazy.
Results.
No championship. Ain't win no championship.
Results.
Ain't winning no championship. Ravens Bengals coming up this week, man. Can the Bengals still make a playoff push? What do you think?
I think they can.
Wow.
Looking at their schedule,
let's see it.
They don't have that many tough games on the road, at least, or two toughest games on the road the rest of the way. Got the Ravens, obviously, and then Pittsburgh. So, might be able to sprinkle them in. I don't think they'll win both. Maybe you get lucky and you win one. Then they got Dallas at home, which I think will be an easy one. Broncos at home, which is very winnable. Browns, winnable. They do have to go to the Chargers, which might be tough, but I think it's a winnable game the way Burrow's playing this season, and if all things are healthy, I could see them easily going 10-7, and that possibly being enough to get a wild card spot. I forgot there's 3 wild card spots now, so I definitely think 10-7 can possibly get it done.
Are they dangerous in the playoffs if they make it?
I would say no, just because of their defense. But if that defense ever got hot and got on a little roll and, all of a sudden they can not be just absolutely awful on that end. When Burrow's got Higgins and Chase and they're all clicking offensively, certainly got to give them a little bit of an edge. It wouldn't be a walk in the park if you saw Burrow in a wild card game, but defensively, I think it's a lot of question marks there.
I mean, yeah, I don't love the Bengals. I've told you this before. I wanted to see what they were going to do at the deadline. There was talks of T. Higgins maybe getting moved, and they stayed to it. So with that gives me an inclination that they're trying to go for it. And like you said, I mean, outside that Ravens game and that Steelers game, I don't see really many games that they're gonna slip up. I hope they flex that Bengals Cowboys off of my Monday night, because that's a waste of everybody's time. But I had to say that. I think they make a run, and I think actually in the playoffs, I do think they do become more dangerous because of Joe Burrow and because of Jamar Chase, and I think they made a move. Got Khalil Herbert over there, so they got another back in the backfield to go with the young guy Chase Brown. So I think it's enough to carry him. They can try it. If they can make enough plays, I mean, they got playmakers. We've seen Burrow get hot, and when he's hot, I mean, he's as good as anybody in the league. So
yeah, he's having a great year.
Doesn't mean they're beating my Ravens this week, though. So
no, I didn't say they would. 10-7.
I know.
10-7.
Yeah, I know. Just looking at it. What do we think about your Eagles? Ooh, your Cowboys versus
that was
the Eagles.
Crazy.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say Eagles Cowboys, man. It's whatever. The Eagles are taking on the Cowboys. No Dak Prescott. My boy Zeke's on disciplinary action. But that's neither here nor there. we're gonna look at the Eagles. We know this game is going one way, right? We can all agree to that. But after this trade deadline,
Ha ha ha.
you're not even gonna watch the game.
I'm not.
Exactly. But after this trade deadline, the Eagles are one of the teams that did not make a move. It looks like they stayed pat with their defense. They got Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell out there right now at corner, holding it down with Darius Slay. I think they like those guys. But without making a move, do you still think that the Eagles, or do you think that the Eagles have an opportunity to go ahead and make their own run and compete with the Lions in the NFC and get to the Super Bowl?
I certainly think they have a chance. The biggest thing holding them back currently is honestly their coaching. Last couple of weeks, you've seen them kind of leaving a lot of points on the board, pretty much just off of his decisions. Like I said, Saquon has been the MVP of that offense this year. I think getting him the ball as much as possible, they become a different team. He had 199 yards of scrimmage last week, so I certainly think when it's all said and done, they can stop the run pretty well, good enough. You'd like to see them get, a lot of Eagles fans talk about getting another pass rusher, but I think they're still up there in terms of total pressures and sacks in the league. So it's not maybe as good as it was in the past, but I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's piss poor. So with that offense and being able to run the football with Saquon and hitting him out of the backfield, and A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, they certainly have, I think, a Super Bowl caliber offense. I just think their biggest question marks are obviously defensively and pretty much just game management from their coaching staff. But they've got all the talent to make a run. I think if Saquon continues this level of play into the postseason, they're going to be a tough out. I think a matchup between them and the Lions would be real interesting because they're both at their best when their running backs are dominating the game.
Yeah. Hey, I picked Jalen Hurts to win MVP. That's not gonna happen. But they're hitting their stride at the right time. I mean, A.J. Brown knows he's got a little injury right now. But I mean, they're clicking. We know what that offense looks like when A.J. Brown's out there. I mean, Devontae Smith, like, we made some crazy plays this past week, great catches. And like you said, the addition of Saquon just changed that team, and it's different. And that guy's special, and he's healthy. And when he's healthy, it makes up for some of those bad decisions that the coach makes. But I think, like you said, they shoot themselves in the foot and make their games closer than they have to be. I gave a lot of Eagles fans a lot of crap. I was like, you barely beat the Jags. Blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I mean, like you said, you would hope those coaching decisions would change and things would, be a little different, so you don't just make games harder for yourself. But that team has all the talent in the world. Like I said when we introduced it, I love what I see from the young rookie cornerbacks. They're making plays, and Darius Slay still making. He's still Darius Slay. So the defense, Nakobe Dean making plays. He picked off Trevor Lawrence. So you can tell I've been hearing about the Eagles all week. So I know everything is. I like where they're headed. And I think we're real priming up for that Lions-Eagles matchup, hopefully, and hopefully for everybody we get to see it, man. Hopefully we can see it. But speaking of those Lions, they take on the Texans this week. The Lions, they made a deal at the deadline. We talked about it. They needed somebody to replace Aiden Hutchinson. They got somebody. They got Zadarius Smith in. That adds to that defensive line. Is that enough? Do you think at this point, at the deadline, that they've done enough to ensure that they're going to make this deep playoff run and get to the Super Bowl like a lot of people are favoring them to do?
Yeah, I think they helped themselves out a lot. Zadarius Smith, former Pro Bowler, he already comes in and he's probably the best pass rusher on that team with Hutchinson being out. They've got a couple of other guys being down too, Derek Brown and Davenport. So a lot of guys on that defensive line for Detroit out, so they desperately needed some help. Defense has still been playing pretty well when Hutchinson's been out. But entering the week, I think they're like 16th or something in sack rate. So definitely a move that can help them out. You can never have, too many pass rushers, especially going into the playoffs. So definitely a good move for them. And I think they've got enough to compete. Even without Hutchinson, I think defensively, I think they're still good enough. And the way they've been humming on offense, the way they've been moving the ball, running the ball, I think that kind of just takes them to another level. So, more pass rushers never hurt. So right now, I still think they're the favorite in the NFC.
Yeah, you didn't have Zadarius Smith before. And now you have. He's got he's a little bit older now, but he still gives you production. He's gonna fill in as best he can for Aiden Hudson. And I think if nothing else, I don't see how that makes you any worse. I think without him, we thought they were the favorites. And I have to say with him, that makes them even more solidified, especially if he can come in and replicate anything close to, some of the success he's had historically. The defense, I always say it, they're tough. They make some mistakes, but, they're physical, they're aggressive, so that can make up for a little, that, being aggressive, being physical can make up for mistakes, especially in the professional football league. Or National Football League, Lord. So yeah, like I said, I'm hoping for Eagles Lions square off because I think.
And somebody crib on fire?
I don't know, man. I'm wondering. I definitely got the window open, but
Thought somebody was about to say, "Shh, the fireman comes."
hey, I ain't hearing it in here. They good. Oh, see, we're good. Living in Baltimore sometimes it just happens. You just hear it every out.
That's just a regular day.
Hey man, just it ain't impacting me. I don't look for it. You feel me? I'm just chilling. What do you think about the Texans, man? We've seen them kind of already was struggling. Nico Collins has been out. He might be coming back, might not. Diggs is done for the year. Is that enough for him, man? Or if they can't get Nico back at the very least, are they done for? What are we thinking?
Yeah, I think the loss of Diggs kind of hurts them in terms of being a Super Bowl contender. Nico Collins was off to a terrific start. Diggs was still having a good year for his standards. When Mixon was healthy, him running the football and the combination of that chemistry and between Stroud and Nico and Diggs, being on the outside, it just added a lot to that team. And even then, there was just kind of still something a little off about them, to me at least. But now without those two, and even if you get Nico back, like that should it'll definitely help. But in terms of bigger picture, I don't think it's a lot on CJ Stroud at the moment. When Mixon's running the football well, they play a lot better. But when you put the ball in Stroud's hands as much as they've had to lately in these games, offensive line, couple games hasn't looked well. So it's a lot on Stroud's shoulders right now for them to be good offensively. And I just don't know if only getting Nico Collins back this year is going to be enough for them to, make a deep playoff run.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. They don't seem like the Texans that we fell in love with. CJ Stroud. I mean, the numbers are a little bit more down than we expected. But hey, Nico's a game changer. We see what game changers do for the NFL. I mean, obviously the receivers in the game are different now, right? We got plenty of guys we could talk about as top 10, 15 guys in the league, and Nico's one of them. But I think, having him, they'll help you. He'll definitely help you. Like you said, I don't think it's Super Bowl season now. We were hoping early on, we were talking about maybe they could be that contender team. No Diggs. I don't know, unless Tank Dell, can really, really step in and, fill those shoes. Obviously, he's not Stephon Diggs, but he's another guy that can be explosive. And they get some other guys on that other side to help him out. But
and now even, whenever Nico Collins gets back now, teams can just kind of hone in on him, and you don't have to worry about Diggs on the other side, freeing him up for, some of those catches and plays that he makes. So
Joe
things will
Mixon's
just be a
going to be
little
the key.
tougher. Yeah,
Joe Mixon's going to be the key.
Yeah, if they can run the ball, if they can be a run first team, defensively they've been pretty solid this year. So, kind of just control time of possession with Mixon. He's had some big games this year. He can, break out for $150 here and there. But yeah, like you said, Stroud's numbers down a little this year. Dare we say a sophomore slump? Not a huge drop off, but
yeah.
certainly
I saw someone
not
on Twitter talking about that.
certainly not breaking onto the scene like last year. But still, he's got the Texans in position to win the division again, so he'll be all right.
It's definitely a sophomore slump. People trying to call him, washed or whatever. It's like, I mean,
washed in year 2 is crazy.
Yeah, like it was. I think it was a dude on Twitter. He was talking about
they're like 6-3 or something like that.
Yeah, it was like not an old head, but like a dude kind of around our age, 30s maybe. He's like, in my day, we called that a sophomore slump. Like, what are you talking about? It's normal. You know what I'm saying? Like, that happened. So, we're not off the Stroud train just yet. Everybody needs to calm down. They're winning football games. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. It's cool.
They look for the next thing so quickly.
Hey, it's new cancel culture, brother. That's how they do. But your Bills take on the Colts. We know about your Bills. You look good. Hopefully, Amari Cooper can come back and do that for them. But the Colts, man, they sent Flacco out there. A lot of people are talking about how the numbers look real identical, real similar. We lost, whatever the case is. He just has a 60% completion rate, whatever the case is. But we ain't looking no different. The people said that some of the Colts players wanted to see the change made. So after this game that we just watched, do you think they made the right decision to go with Flacco over Andy Reid?
I still don't. Like I said, they made this decision, because of him tapping out and, that kind of players looking at him sideways. Then okay. But I mean, if it was just strictly just from a playing perspective, I just don't think it's in their best interest to put out a 39-year-old backup quarterback who, doesn't have much left versus a guy you took number 4 overall in the draft just a couple years ago when you're still trying to figure out if this guy is the future for you. Let him play, let him make the mistakes if that's what you're going to do. If not, you're going to go into the next season with the same questions, wondering if, this guy's for you. So from that, that was my only reasoning against benching him. Like I said, they were 4-4 before that. The games that he did play, they were all close and in it. Like, throughout the 10 for 32, like, he still had them, in a lot of these games, and they did not look good against the Vikings in that first game. So yeah, nothing really changed from putting Joe Flacco in there. Like, there might be a couple of play calls that you can call for Flacco that, like, he might execute better than Anthony Richardson. But I mean, for a guy that, like, he's been struggling with his accuracy, but like I said, the way he's dynamic with his legs. I mean, he's had all the games that he's lost. I mean, he's had them in there one possession. I mean, they lost both games to the Texans by like a combined 6 points. So, I mean, the potential, the raw potential is there. And everyone knew this when you traded up to get him. He was a project, didn't have a lot of experience. Accuracy was a question mark. All these question marks were there when you drafted him. So, you draft him knowing that you're going to have to, go through these bumps and bruises and work with him through these and let him learn and grow. Or you go out and you find a guy that could have helped you win now that, that you didn't have to invest your whole future in. But that's why these organizations, they continue to stay mediocre.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, it's one of those things. Like, do you think Joe Flacco makes you a Super Bowl team? You know what I'm saying? Like, it helps us win now. How? Like, you might make a run at the division.
And clearly,
but like,
that might have been wrong judgment because he's 1-2 as a starter.
Exactly. So it's like realistically, what do you expect? If your young guy goes out there, to your point, let him finish. If he shows you that he's something to build around, you build around. Whether you win or lose. I mean, shoot, if you're losing, get a little better draft position and go put something else around him. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? But at the end of the day, like you make the switch just to be the same type of mediocre with a guy that, like you said, Joe Flacco's not getting re-signed next year. You know what I'm saying? Like, playoff or not, is that like you wanna bring that back at 40? Like, we see Aaron Rodgers. He's not Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we can not really expect much more from this guy. But hey, man, you said it. This is why organizations stay mediocre, bro. Here's what it is. But the trade deadline was today. We had a lot of moves, man. A lot of things happened. A lot of contenders got a lot better. Who do you think improved the most at the deadline?
I like what the Commanders did. I think the weakest part of their team so far this year has been the secondary, and you had someone like Lattimore, who's still under contract for the next 2 years. He's had I think a career low 5.2 yards per target, allowed pass rating of like 69. So he still can get it done at a high level. Will certainly improve their defense. And I think, especially in the NFC where you're going to have to go up against, Amon St. Brown and A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Who else is out there? Justin Jefferson. So I'm thinking of playoff teams.
We're going to make the playoffs.
Drake London. Guys like that. So yeah, you need an elite corner, and I certainly think they've helped themselves out in that department.
I'm glad he's gone, man.
I bet
Ohio
you are.
State guy, New Orleans Saint. Me and Marshawn don't got nothing good to say about him, so I'm glad he's gone. But yeah, they'll see us in that wild card. And you're going to see Mike Evans again. I like
That's usually
what the
jail
Steelers
time.
did. No, stop it. See you run.
My bad. Am I wrong? Will he be on probation?
I like what the Steelers did the most.
Okay.
I think you go get Mike Williams. You need another receiver. You need another guy.
So he can run the wrong route again? Let me stop.
That was Aaron Rodgers' words. Now Mike Williams' words. There's 3 sides to every story. That's all I can say. Russell Wilson has a great deep ball. I think they'll be fine. Him and George Pickens on the outside. You can let other guys like Calvin Austin and what's the other dude's name? Van Jefferson. You can let those guys play inside. You know what I'm saying? The run game has been on. I think that helps that offense a lot. You also go add Preston Smith to a pass rush that already includes the best defensive player in the NFL, TJ Watt. They got Nick Herbig over there. I think they still got Alex Highsmith. And you add Preston, and you think about what that does for your defense. That's already, like I said, one of those defenses that you have trouble. You talk about the AFC, the Patrick Mahomes, the Josh Allens, the Lamar Jacksons. You need that guy, the CJ Strouds, the Joe Burrows. That adds to that defense as well. Makes that pass rush deeper, makes it even more stout. And he's another veteran guy that's going to be tough, hard-nosed. Got Steeler written all over him. Man, that's going to be tough. So I like what they did. I think they got a lot better. I like the commitment to go on and get one. We'll see if Russ can take him there. But
probably not.
We'll see. We got an opportunity to see. But that NFC West right now is getting murky. A lot of teams around the same records. So at this point, who do you think the front runner is to win that division? Because them Cardinals, they snuck in there.
It's really tough to call right now. Like, I mean, just off the top of my head, like, especially with McCaffrey coming back, it's easy to go ahead and say the 49ers, Stafford, healthy, Rams have been on a roll, but I mean, really, it's hard to call, and it's going to come down to all the division games. I think Cardinals have 4 division games, all of them at 3. So that's really what it's going to come down to. The Cardinals have the easiest schedule of the bunch. Them and the Rams have a pretty light schedule. Niners and Seahawks schedule a lot tougher. So I think it'll come down to the division games. The Cardinals, they're somehow 5-4, but like,
do you believe in them?
they're
Kyler having a
they're
great year.
too
James Conner?
inconsistent. They're too inconsistent. 1 game they'll have 28 to 35 and look like an explosive offense, and then the next game they'll have 7 points or 10 points and lose big. They're a bit too inconsistent for me. And that's just the team that they are. The reason the 49ers are inconsistent is because of a bunch of injuries. The reason the Rams are inconsistent, injuries. So I think those are the 2 best teams in the division when they're healthy and things are clicking. But I think it'll come down to all the division matchups because everybody's bunched up right now. I think they'll all have about the same record come towards the end of the season. Big thing will be those division matchups, and there'll be plenty towards the end of the season in the NFC West.
Yeah, if Ayuk wasn't hurt, I'd definitely say Niners easily. They still got Debo, they still got Jefferson, Kittle, like you said, McCaffrey. Just ironically appears back into the league when they play the Bucks. Just happens to go that way for us every time. But those Rams are scary, man. Something about them. McVay and Stafford. I mean, Puka, getting ejected for punching people. But Cooper Kupp good. Puka will be back. The defense seems to be good enough. They make enough things happen. They're scary. It's scary. I really don't know. I think I'm gonna give the Niners a slight edge. I don't believe in the Cardinals either. I like what they got as far as like weapons, but what you said is right. They're inconsistent. They shoot from drive to drive. You see it. It's real interesting, but they got weapons. I mean, Kyler, I love Kyler. I think he's one of the better quarterbacks, better in terms of like arm talent. In the league, he's fast. Marvin Harrison Jr. My boy Greg Dortch is over there. Trey McBride is one of the best tight ends in the league. Did I already say James Conner? Pretty sure I did. If I didn't, James Conner. So the offense is cool, but the other side of the ball is where it also gets murky. Do I trust the Cardinals to have to go win a big game, divisional game, to go to the playoffs? Probably not right now. So I don't know. I want to say Rams, but I'm gonna lean Niners too. I'm gonna lean. But if the Rams stay healthy, I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay. I think Rams and Niners for sure are the 2 best teams when healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be it's gonna be a good race. It's gonna be a good race. We'll see. Shoot. It's time for the pick 'em. Time to wrap this thing up. Nell, you 5-4. Big win for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You picked the Eagles to beat the Jags. Big whoop. You should get negative points.
Yeah, okay.
Me, me, I went with more divisional game, tough matchup, rookie quarterback.
Stop it.
I'm now 7-2. Pick those Commanders over the Giants. Shout out to me, man. Let's snap it up. Okay.
That's all right. That's cool. I got me a matchup today.
Your season is on the line. All I can say is I'm probably not gonna lose again. But you can give it a try.
Season on the line. Gotta have this one. Give me those 49ers. Who they play this week? I think they play some trash team. It's gonna be the 49ers. McCaffrey's back. Touchdown.
I would love nothing more than for you to not win the pick'em because you tried to do it. I'm not mad at that. I'm glad you did that. I'm glad you did that. See me, I gotta see. Who haven't I used, man? I gotta see. Seahawks, Chargers, Chiefs, Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, Bucks, Packers, Commanders. I would use the Bucks, man, but I can't. It's unfortunate. I'm gonna take your Bills, man. Take your Bills to beat the Colts this week, man. Big game, AFC matchup.
Love a trap game right here.
I know. I believe so much in your guy.
Thanks.
I believe so much in you.
Maybe we get the black Jameis Winston this week.
Who's Jameis play this week? My boy got a bye. See, they had to put my boy in the bye week. He had to cool off. He was gonna win. I wanted to go Cowboys.
Yeah, that brother need to go to church this week. Get his praise on. You're gonna come back.
Jameis coming out the bye gunning.
That speech after the bye gonna be crazy.
And they play the Saints.
Oh man,
good luck.
Turn up.
Eddie back in New Orleans. Hey
Turn
man,
up.
if y'all got Jameis on y'all fantasy teams, man. Jameis on fantasy teams.
All right, I don't know. I ain't gonna advise y'all to do all that now. I'm just saying the pregame speech gonna be fire. The pregame speech gonna be fire. That's all. God, you ready to run through a brick wall? Yeah, that's where we stop.
We ended there. We started there with the pregame, and that's crazy. But hey, man, great episode. That's gonna do it for us today, man. Season 3, episode 65. We appreciate all the love. Continue to show love. Continue to tune in, however you tune in, whether it's on the YouTube, whether it's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker. Whether you just tune into the IG reel sometime, wherever you consume your 2 for 2. We appreciate you. We're going to continue to do this for you all. But like I said, it's season 3, episode 65, Quis and Nelly, 2 for 2.